Shane back with you. I got my friend in the studio once again, Eli Cranor, best-selling author, Edgar Award-winning author, and we've mentioned it before. Don't Know Tough, Ozark Dogs, Broiler. You can find them basically wherever you can buy books. Let's talk about what's next for Eli Cranor, and that's Mississippi Blue 42. I want to start this off. We have mentioned that it's about modern-day college football and the big money wrapped up in that. This title, Mississippi Blue 42, is that like a protection change at the line, or what is that called? Is it a hot route, or what is that?
Old Peyton Manning, Omaha.
Right.
Yeah, Blue 42 is kind of that old, it's Blue 42, that hut, maybe used as an audible call, which was a big, when I'm getting into my literary mind, I was really thinking that's what we've seen in college football. We've seen a change. An audible is a change of a play. And I really liked the way it sounded. So if I'm going to get really nerdy, but, like Shakespeare wrote all his sonnets in iambic pentameter, which is just like a stressed and unstressed syllable. And that Mississippi Blue 42, it kind of has that same rhythm to it. So,
man, getting deep with the literary stuff. But, hey, keeping it hometown, man.
That's right.
I love it.
Yeah.
Eli, I mean, we talked before in teasing this book a little bit that, there has been payments going on, to some degree, and we will neither confirm nor deny who or where, in the big world of college football, in the big world of the next prospect up, getting them to a particular school, getting them to a particular location. How do you bring that into the literary world? Are we going to be following a different character? What's the setup there?
Yeah, and I want to be clear because one thing I did do with this book is so where it all came from is everywhere I go, anybody who wants to talk football with me, the first thing, college football especially, is they talk about money and they talk about player payments. And so I played football down in Florida Atlantic, which was a Division I school coached by Howard Schnellenberger. So if you know old Schnelly, rest in peace, Schnelly. But Schnelly was the guy who started the U in Miami. And he was the offensive coordinator for Dan Marino and the Dolphins. And then they pull him out of retirement. I think he had a good stop in Louisville, too, kind of helped get that program. But to come out and start this program at FAU. So I say all that to say, that world you're talking about back before the days of NIL and player payments, there was this other world. And this is really where this book is set. So one thing I really wanted to do is, because everywhere I go, everybody wants to talk about NIL. Eli, what do you think about this new, I don't know if I like college football anymore. I don't know if I can watch it. It doesn't feel the same. So it was impossible to try and capture the zeitgeist of the current college football world. And what I mean by that is, even when I turned this book in, which I did about a month ago, it's still almost a year before it comes out. And we are moving in this warp speed of college football. So it means if I tried to be really current and capture everything that's happening right now, by the time the book came out, who knows what sort of rule changes we would see, what sort of things. So I set the book in the 2013-2014 season. And if you'll think back to then, that's like Johnny Manziel when he's getting all that bad press about signing those autographs for money.
Exactly.
There was a great article that came out, I think it was in Bleacher Report, it was SB Nation, called Meet the Bagman, which was this really in-depth investigative report about Mississippi and this whole crew of guys that really weren't boosters. They were just wealthy enough and devoted enough to their particular school that they were willing to seek out 4- and 5-star recruits and offer them a little money, in the parking lot of the Waffle House. And that's where Mississippi Blue 42 really came from. And so the way in is that it's a federal investigation. So there's a rookie federal agent by the name of Ray Johnson, and it's her first case. And her father is a big-time college football coach in Arkansas. So she is fresh out of Quantico, fresh out of the academy, rip snorting ready to go, wants to be Joint Terrorism Task Force doing. And what do? They stick her on a white-collar crime investigation into the NCAA and this underhanded money, which she hates, because she has bigger aspirations, but they do it because of her dad.
She wanted to go get the bad guy.
She's ready. So she's thinking, here I am, and it takes her about 24 hours in this fictional Mississippi college football town to realize that, Joint Terrorism Task Force don't have nothing on the kind of crazy that's going down in the deep, deep South. So it's very fun. It's a whole lot different in tone than my other books. And what I mean by that is there's almost a satirical note to it, a dark humor note but when you're trying to tackle the pageantry and the pride that is college football, which is $1 billion industry around a game, it's hard not to use humor. It's hard. You almost have to make it work. So I've really enjoyed that kind of those first 3 books that I wrote. They're all Don't Know Tough, Ozark Dogs, and Broiler. They all fit in the same kind of universe, the same. And then this is a whole step in a different direction. Google Mississippi Blue 42, and then click pre-order now from wherever you get it. You can do it through Dog Ear on their website. You can do it through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, whatever place you order your books. Mississippi Blue is available.
Eli Cranor, thanks for being in the studio once again, man.
Thanks, Shane. Yeah.